What's up, guys? Leerics Life here, back at you with another video. Go ahead and hit the subscribe. Okay. Anyways, guys, so you're gonna hear cars because I'm recording outside. This is my favorite place to come now that there are no freaking mosquitoes. So, first things first is that if you haven't already, make sure you hit subscribe and you tap the bell so you get notifications on all of my new videos. Because you guys are not going to want to miss this. October is the month about happiness. I mean, tell me, who does not want to learn about happiness? I should talk louder because I know you're not going to be able to hear me. But seriously, like, who doesn't want to be happy? And, like, guys, don't look at my feed. But I don't give a damn if you do. So, if you guys haven't already checked out my last two videos, first one is the 4 steps to happiness. The second one is, the secret to happiness, being yourself. Literally, the secret to happiness is being yourself. And you're probably like, these are some redundant ass videos. Go see what I talk about for fucking 20 minutes. I promise you they're not. This one here is gonna talk about happiness in spite of, right? So before I kind of just talked about like how to just be happy, like I woke up this morning and I'm breathing. I am not in need of anything, right? But now I want to talk about how to deal with controversy, how to deal with difficulties in your life, how to go through shit, how to have people mad at you. You know what I'm saying? Not saying like you need to go out there and be like, and then have people deal with that, but literally how you deal with other people being mad with you. So if you guys want to learn a little bit more about how to stay happy when everyone else is mad, get ahead. Stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned. Listen, why the fuck haven't you subscribed yet? That's my question. Is why haven't you subscribed? What you doing? Baby, what is you doing? Baby, what you doing? Okay, whatever. So here we go, right? So let's say you're that person, right? You're going through shit right now. You came to this video. Somehow this video has reached you. And the world is fucking mad at you right now. You have shit going on in your life. And you're just like, how the fuck am I going to get through this? Your man is mad at you. Maybe you... I should not say this. Never mind. Your man is mad at you over something or whatever. Your significant other, a best friend, or someone you care about. Someone you actually care about. Because obviously if you didn't care, you wouldn't be watching this video to see like how to get through this shit. Now this is not telling you go ignore that person or anything. This is just telling you how to deal with stress or how to deal with the obstacle. But still wake up and still be yourself. Now, some people are going to look at this like, well, shit, just because they mad, I'm good. I still go about my day, right? But if you're like me, like, if I really care about you and you're really upset with me, like, this is mostly in relationships and stuff like that. I promise you, like, nobody else, it don't be that. But if I'm dating you, like, anybody I date, I don't care. Because, like, I'm like, bro, why are you mad at me? Like, you don't want to talk to me? Like, why don't you want to talk to the queen? Some of y'all gonna be like, she's not even that cute. I don't care. Yes, I am. Okay, anyways. So yeah, anyways. So let's say you're going through something. Boyfriend, girlfriend, somebody, a best friend, someone you really care about, right? They're mad at you, right? How the fuck do you get through that shit and still like go out there and have the energy and the enthusiasm to go? Either you need to go do a party, you need to go do a show, you need to go network, you need to go make videos, you need to go and talk to people, you have to go to class and do a presentation with this person. How do you coexist with that person and they're mad at you? How can you still be happy? Alright, so look no further. How do you do that? They're in charge of their feelings. It's that simple. You cannot control their feelings. You cannot alter their feelings. There's literally nothing that you can do to change another person's feelings, like how they are feeling, because you're not feeling that shit. You can, try to cheer them up. You can try to explain yourself and calm them down. But essentially, that person is going to be in charge of changing their feelings, just as you are. Like, I can't physically, like, you watching this video right now, right? You have to make the choice to say, I want to feel differently after I watch this. I want to take the words, let them sink in, let them change inside of me, and still feel different. You ever like, okay, perfect example. Somebody dies, right, that's super close to you, and then people are like, yeah, they're in a better place, And it's like, bitch, don't you think I fucking know that? Especially they done died from cancer, they had stage 4 and shit. They was fucking suffering and shit. Like, don't you think I fucking know that? But nevertheless, right, Something like that. Somebody says some stupid ass shit like that. That's not going to change your feelings, right? Someone can try to bring back memories of the person. It's not going to change the void, the fact that you're feeling that loss, that sadness, you know, that's not going to change. The only thing that's going to change that is you changing that feeling yourself, from changing that loss into a feeling of, wow, that person really had a great legacy. You know, you change your perspective, you change your fucking feeling. Someone else can't change it. They can enlighten you to their perspective, but they can't actually change how you think or how you feel. Okay? Just so if they can't change how you think or how you feel, you have no control over how someone else thinks or how someone else feels. Okay? Does that make sense? I hope I haven't lost you guys. Are you with me? Yes. Okay. So that's the first thing, is that you have to realize that shit. Is that, okay, cool. If this person is mad right now, you have to let that person be mad. That doesn't mean you have to entertain that shit. That doesn't mean you have to argue with them. That doesn't mean you have to beat yourself up about it, even if you are the person that's wrong. It's very simple, okay? So, and I'm so sorry, this is like a busy place, but I swear to God, guys, I fucking love this fucking park. It's not really like a park, it's just like the only place around here that has leaves that you can touch and like walk around and shit. I like leaves and nature. Miss Georgia. But anyways, back to this video. So, back to this video. Being mad, being happy when other people are mad at you. First things first, you realize that person has their feelings. You accept that they have these feelings, and you accept the fact that you can't change that shit. They have to change that shit in their own time. Now, secondly, okay, whatever those feelings are, whether they're sad, they're mad, whatever the fuck, if they're withdrawn from you, whatever the feeling is that you don't like, the emotion is that you don't like, you have no control over someone else's fucking emotions, because no one has control over your shit. You do. You change your perspective, you change your feelings. Simple. Okay? So after that, there's a little squirrel, it's so cute. So after you realize that, right? And then after you go ahead and you've accepted that, and you understand that person has a right to be mad. Okay? So the first thing is you say that you can't change the fact that they feel how they feel. The second thing is you can't, you accept the fact that they have a right to feel that way. Because everyone has a right. We all have a right. I have a right if I want right now to start fucking crying. It's my right. I have the ability to fucking do it, and if I want to do it, I can do it. You can't, change the fact that I'm fucking crying. What you gonna do? Stop my eyes from the water coming in? I don't even know how you do that. You're gonna take my eyeballs out? I'm sure tears can still come out of my eyeball sockets. So, after you've gone ahead and they're sad, you let that person, you know what I'm saying? Like, when people get these new emotions, especially, or even if, sometimes they're lingering, you cannot alter them. You can't change them. You can't be like, I really wish you wasn't mad. I really don't think, though this is the one that gets me, I really don't think you should be mad because, bitch, what you just said? Okay, alright, well, I'm going to be mad because I'm mad. And I was mad before we started this shit. So, that doesn't mean you have to entertain it. Which means, that does not mean that you have to sit there and get cursed out. You have to sit there and watch the person cry. You have to sit there and feel. You don't have to feel the same feelings as someone else. You don't have to sit there and endure that shit. You don't have to if you don't want to. It's up to you. Like I said in my last video, be you unapologetically, but first you have to define yourself in order for you to be you. So if you're a person who gets uncomfortable or you don't like it when people cry around you because, you just don't, that's not an emotion that you can connect with, you know that about yourself. Now, you can work on that, but you also don't have to entertain that just because, someone else is going through it. Now, the respectable thing to do is explain yourself and excuse yourself. Okay? Explain yourself short, like a sentence, 2 sentences, and excuse yourself. And give that person their time. And then, you know what? After that, that's that person's emotions. So you have to throw that shit in the garbage. Let them deal with their emotions and don't take that baggage with you because you already have your own baggage. So what do you need? 2 bags? The fuck you gonna do? Santa Claus don't even got 2 bags. He only got 1. There ain't even that many good kids in the world. So this may sound like really, really remedial. I don't give a damn because you have to simplify everything in life. Everything is so simple. We just fucking complicate the shit. And we're like, but what about this? But what? It still falls under the same category. I'll give you another example. Let's say you're at work and you just got written up and you feel like your write-up was wrong. And this is something that I went through. and I handled it the wrong way. And I think I learned so much from losing that job. I'm so happy I lost that job, because I would never been the person I am today if I didn't get. Like, sometimes you gotta go through bad shit in order to be a better person, and you have to understand that, and understand and accept that. Like I said in my last video, it's a metamorphosis, just like a butterfly. Okay, so anyways, so let's say you're at work, you get a write up at something at work, and you don't agree with it. Let me tell you, there's two types of people in this world, right? Nine times out of 10, if sometimes people just target you, but sometimes you make yourself a target. Let's be real, and you have to accept. You have to be honest. You have to be honest with yourself now. Don't fucking lie, because there's no point. Nothing will change. Now, you get a write up. You feel like it's wrong, right? It's wrong. There's no justification. There's no evidence. Nothing. Whatever type of job you may be in. Now, let's say it's your first or your second one. It's not the one that gets you terminated. It's just one that you have to stay there and get to be in an uncomfortable environment with people because you feel like these people are against you. Let's say that's your initial perspective, right? So, the first thing you do is, right, let's say you don't agree with the verdict that they came up with. Now, they're presenting the shit to you. Now, how you handle yourself in this moment determines everything afterwards. If maybe they may target you, maybe they won't, whatever. So what you do in an instance where somebody is presenting information that you don't agree with, under any circumstances, any information that you don't agree with, even in the funeral situation I just said with the person dying, they're telling you, oh, they're in a better place. Information you don't agree with, okay? Because the person's not with you. Not saying that they're not in a better place. You just don't agree with how they're trying to cope or whatever the fuck. So, anybody tells you anything, you don't agree with it, right? You first understand they have the right to their fucking feelings, whether it's anger, happiness, sadness, whatever the fuck. However they feel, they have a right to that shit. And 9 times out of 10, if you're not agreeing with something, somebody's either upset and it's some shit, or, they're sad and they're hurt, but they're showing anger, signs of that. Normally, you don't really find anything that falls under the other categories. And so, when you go ahead and when you realize first that, in this moment, there's nothing I can say or do that's going to change the way that person feels, because they have to change their perspective on their own, right? Then you go ahead and you're not bothered. You're like, okay, you see it, you observe it. That person is mad. That person is sad, right? Then number 2, after you do that, after you see this person's mad or whatever the fuck, you go ahead and you say they have the right to feel how they feel. So even though you don't agree with that verdict, they still have a right to say, because they can do whatever the fuck they want. Essentially, if they're your boss, they have the right to feel like, well, maybe you did this wrong. They have that right. If it got to the point of a write-up, trust me, it done been through a couple hands. So somebody has the right to feel that way, okay? Now, number 3 is that, after you go ahead and you realize that, then, you don't have to entertain the shit. So, in this type of situation, entertaining it would be getting yourself riled up. Oh my God, how could you do that? Why would you write me up? Blah, 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 blah. This is some bullshit. Or, whatever, getting yourself bent out of shape. You don't have to entertain that shit. You can say a small piece, I don't agree with this, but we can speak at a later date and time. I don't think now is the appropriate time, but I do respect. That's the acknowledgement and saying, you're entitled to your feelings. I do respect, the decision that you guys came to. I don't necessarily agree with it. I respect it because of who it's coming from. Then you go ahead and at a later time and day when you're ready, you go ahead and address the shit. You know what I'm saying? But you don't let that shit affect you. You don't take that garbage and you don't bring it home with you. You leave it right there. Do you see how if you separate yourself from the issue at hand, you separate yourself from the fact that it's someone else's feelings, the separation, that's where the happiness comes in, because then you're not letting your mood be affected by the situation. So many times we are affected by our circumstances. We are affected by what we go through. We are affected by what happens. We are affected by what he said. We are affected by what she said. We are affected by Trump. We are affected by the church. We are affected by our kids. When really and truly, you allow them to affect you. Okay? You allow them to affect you. If you understand that this person has the right, as a human being, as long as you can do all of this shit, you have the right to use your things. Now, other people may not agree with it, and that's why there's laws and shit in place. You know what I'm saying? But essentially, everyone has the right to do and feel as they want to. Now, you may not be treating others right, but you still have the right. So real quick, guys, right? How do you remain happy through the midst of a storm? How do you remain happy while you're going through obstacles? How do you remain happy while your spouse is mad at you? How do you remain happy while your best friend's mad at you? How do you remain happy while your grandma, mom, whoever the fuck is mad at you? Okay? It's something where basically, you know, and I'm not talking about, this is not where I'm talking about an instance where you actually fucking did something for someone to be mad at you for. I'm not talking about that shit. I don't mean like something where you were, you know, malicious or, you know, vindictive. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I mean like those instances where you unknowingly or unintentionally or shit just got out of control. Those type of instances, or, you know, where you're almost blindsided by the shit. I don't mean things that you see coming, because we'll talk about that later. If I have enough room, I'll make that video today too. The first thing you do is you accept the fact that they have a right to be mad. They have a right to be sad or hurt. They have that right. Okay, 9 times out of 10, we already discussed. People aren't going to come to you with some happy shit that you're going to get bent out of shape about. Happiness is, you know, met with happiness, usually. You know? So, they have a right to feel how they feel. You cannot change their feelings. Okay? Secondly, you accept, again, they can feel this way because they're a human being. They can feel this way. So, you first things first, you say you cannot change their feelings. You accept the fact that they feel that way. You accept the fact, you know, you go ahead and you say your piece. You accept that they feel that way, but you don't have to entertain it. So one, because I know I'm like, ugh. One, they feel that way. You can't change it. You don't have control over their feelings. They don't have control over your feelings. Number two, you accept that they feel that way, and you know they're entitled to that feeling. They can feel how the fuck they want to feel when the fuck they want to feel, because that's how they feel. Because that's their fucking feelings. Number three, you respect their shit, but you don't have to entertain their shit. So that means you don't stoop down to that same level. If they're up here yelling at you, you don't have to get up there and get rowdy too. If they're, you know, down here, you don't have to crawl down there and meet them either. Just wherever the fuck they are, wherever you came in at, if they're here and you're right here, stay fucking right here. What the fuck? You don't have to meet them. You have nothing to prove to anybody. Then lastly, after you've done that, say your piece and get the fuck on. Throw that shit in the garbage. You know what I'm saying? Don't take their trash with you. Don't take their baggage with you. Leave that shit in the fucking trash can and walk away and be the same person you was before you walked through the door, before you found out that information. This can go for parents finding out their kids getting kicked out of school or did some crazy shit. Like, you can still be a happy person without okay, just because you express yourself, like a parent can beat their child, that doesn't mean that they're angry, that doesn't mean that they're upset, whatever. You can still do stuff and come back and still show a smile on your face and not be stressed out. You don't have to bring your baggage with you. You don't have to be what your day is. You don't have to go through that shit. You can just knock it off your shoulders and keep it fucking going. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, you know, after the day is over, it's kind of like with me and my wig. After the day is over, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to worry about none of this fucking glue on here or none of that shit, because at the end of the day, I'm about to put some mousse on here. Mousse loosens my shit up. If y'all didn't know, now y'all know. If you use gotta be glue, you can use mousse to get it off at the end of the night. Your hair will not fall out. I promise you, that bitch will slide off just like that. I don't worry about none of the curls and none of the stuff I put in my hair, because you know what? At the end of the night, I know that my hair had a right to have this product in it because I put it in there. Of course, I wanted it to hold it, so I accepted the fact that it's gonna hold, and I accepted the fact that there might be glue on here and shit underneath the lace once I take it off. Then, you know what I do? I leave that bitch on and I walk away. And then, you know what? At the end of the day, I take my fucking mousse and I take this shit off and I put it and I wash it out and I put it on my mannequin head and I go to sleep. So I take it and I don't worry about this shit because I'm going to sleep now. So this shit is no longer stressing me. I'll worry about that shit tomorrow. It's the same thing in life. Okay, guys? Sometimes I'm a little long-winded. Sometimes you might get a little bit lost. But if you guys stick with me, I will only improve and improve and improve. And my message is great. Go ahead and share. Tag a friend. Go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and drop your email link. Go ahead and get my book, Blinded by Love and Urban Erotica, on Amazon. Make sure you guys follow my Instagram, Leerics to Life, Facebook page, facebook.com/BlairLease. Also, Leerics to Life. And I have an erotic urban books page. I love you guys so much. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you for hanging in there. I have another video coming.